We've got P Chidambaram with us, former Union Finance Minister, senior Congress leader. Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Chidambaram, for signing in. Just wanted to ask you, Mr. Chidambaram, because I know you'd want to weigh in on the kind of national impact of this election and particularly what it means to the BJP and its leadership. But just about the Congress, would this be overall a matter of concern for you that two key states, you couldn't rest Assam from the BJP, you couldn't rest Kerala from the left, even though Rahul Gandhi is an MP from Kerala?
Assam, we said we will try to regain power. In Assam, we never asserted that we will win. Because Assam, we were against a formidable BJP machine to which the person who went from our party added strength.
Yes.
So Assam, I think they tried their best. They got a significant number of seats, close to 50, but they lost. I think it's not a humiliating loss. It's an honorable loss.
Okay.
What worries me is Kerala. Every other election, the LDF wins, and every other election, the UDF wins. Ordinarily, we should have won Kerala this time. We didn't win Kerala, and that's a matter which I think the Congress High Command would have to investigate and examine very carefully.
And also Bengal, virtually zero, Mr. Chidambaram.
Well, I have a very different view of the Bengal strategy. It may not be proper for me to comment to the media on that. Anyway,
but
there was a strategy, it backfired completely.
Okay, give us some sense of what you think might be a better, or what could have been a better route.
You see, it was a fight between the BJP and the TMC. In a highly polarized election, my experience tells me that there is really no room for a third person. Take Tamil Nadu. It's a highly polarized fight between AIADMK and DMK. The BJP had no business propping up the AIADMK and trying to run the show from behind the scenes. In Bengal, the fight was clearly between the BJP and the TMC. And well, according to me, the Congress should have thought through it more carefully. But I won't say any more than that.
Okay, well, you've also, you've already, you've given us a sense of, you know, what you believe was possibly an error of judgment by the Congress. Dorab Supariwala is also on the show, and Dorab, question for Mr. Chidambaram?
Mr. Chidambaram, two quick questions. One is, in Assam, you probably had the best alliance you had for a long time. You had the AIDUF, which had not tied up with anybody since 2009, and you got the Bodos too with you. Yet, you could not make the breakthrough. On the other end, Tamil Nadu, while you probably had the best scoring strike rate you've ever had. I mean, what did you do right in Tamil Nadu? Because you got you got 16 or 17 seats out of 25 that you contested, which is a phenomenon, probably the highest strike rate of any party. In Assam, with a good coalition, how come it didn't work out? Can you explain both?
Tamil Nadu, you have explained it in your question. We had a good coalition. We had a strong party leading the coalition, and we accepted a number of seats that were manageable. We didn't ask for too large a number of seats, which we could not have managed. So we asked for a reasonable number of seats, and we got most of the seats in areas where we are strong, the southern districts and some part of the central districts. We didn't win in the western districts. We didn't win in the northern districts where we are weak. But fortunately, we took bulk of the seats in the southern districts and the central districts. And I was not surprised that we won. In fact, according to me, we should have won about 18 or 19 seats. But that's a chance you always take in an election. In Assam, the strategy was right. In Assam, the strategy was right. Moment the BJP joined with the AGP has actually betrayed the people of Assam. The AGP, which started as a very provincial, very regional party, reflecting the sentiments of the people of Assam, has actually betrayed the people of Assam. Once the BJP joined with the AGP, our strategy was pretty clear.
Right.
We had to put all the non-BJP parties together. We did the right thing. And I think they fought a brave campaign. The fact that they fell short is a fact of life. There's nothing to be disgraced about it or humiliated about it.
You don't, Mr. Chidambaram, before we wrap, you don't believe as someone who's been quite candid about almost an internal crisis within the Congress, that this is yet another alarm bell that many of you have been raising, especially to do with a certain drift in the leadership?
No, I don't think you can blame the leadership for a win or a loss in a state election. These are collective decisions taken by the leaders of Assam, the leaders of Bengal, the leaders of Kerala. Yes, of course, the leadership is the one that takes the final decision. But let me make it very clear to you that it is the inputs provided by the state leadership which ultimately leads to a decision. Okay. And I think in Tamil Nadu, we provided the right inputs this time. A small number of seats in areas where we are strong, and then go along with the DMK.
Okay.